What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Welcome to another video. It has been a very long time since I have published a video for you guys. I have been driving around and working like crazy, so I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and make a video. But there's two things I want to talk to you guys about before I get into the 5 tips for editing videos. Number one is I will be starting a new series on Saturdays. It's going to be called 6-Minute Saturdays, and I'm going to be doing a 6-minute video, obviously, and it'll be a tutorial, whether it's After Effects, Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere, maybe Final Cut, wink wink at that. That's going to be coming this coming Saturday. There will be a video. I'm not promising that's going to be every Saturday, but I will try to make a video for you guys on Saturdays. It's just going to be an experience and a process. So if you guys have any suggestions for a tutorial video, what you want to see done, anything like that, leave it down in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I do a video if I know how to do it. If not, then I might not do it, obviously. But number 2 is I will be doing daily vlogs for my vacation that I'm going on this coming Saturday. I'm going to Disney with my girlfriend and her family, so there will be a bunch of videos very soon. I'll be doing just like I did in New York and doing a vlog every single day, so be ready for that. But let's get into the 5 tips for editing videos. Number 1, learning shortcuts. So I was horrible with this when I first started. I didn't even know how to copy and paste without right clicking and right clicking again. Learning shortcuts for either you're on Windows or you're on Mac is probably one of the biggest things to help you save time. And in the industry of video and filmmaking, time literally equals money. The faster you can push it out, the faster you can make money from it, and then you can do another one. So learning the shortcuts, whether it's just copy and paste, it will help you so much. But it doesn't really matter what version of video editing software you have. It's not limited to just Premiere. Everything that you're going to do is going to have certain keys that you can hit to go into either cutting or trimming it, or like making it full screen, slowing it down, anything like that. Whatever your shortcut is for your video editing software, learn it, practice it, and use it as much as you can. It will help you out so much in the long run whenever you have a bunch of projects to do at one time. So tip number 2 is organize your workspace. So for me in Premiere, there's a lot of different things that goes on in Premiere's actual workspace. I've spent a lot of time working on my workspace. I've done two to three different ones now, but I finally have it exactly where I want it. I have it all laid out in the right way, and it may seem like a stupid little step, but the more organized you are, the easier it is to find stuff. And again, the easier it is to find it, the faster you can do it. The faster you can do it, the more money you make, the faster you can push it out. So it all kind of just relates. So organize your workspace. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's obviously going to be some things that you're not going to need on your workspace. So that's what I mean by organize it. Get rid of everything on there that you're not going to use. Some people actually use 2 different workspaces, one for actual color grading and the other one for everything else, because a lot of people rely on color right now and sound and all that, and they do all that in one, and then they do all their footage and the finalizations in another one. So it's just trial and error to see what you like, but I definitely recommend you making your own personal workspace and saving that and using that every single time. So tip number 3, shoot with the edit in mind. So this sounds like a weird step to say because it's not really to do with editing, but if you shoot your video with your edit in mind, then your editing process will be faster in the long run. And then, like I said from the first one, the faster you edit, the more money you can make, the more fast you can push them out. The more fast you can push them out, the faster you can push them out. There was a long time where I didn't shoot with the edit in mind, and I had to sit in the editing process almost twice as long as I do now. But now, from either wedding videos or like church videos, anything like that I'm shooting a video of, I look at the process of it. I look at how I want it to look in the end. I even like write out and draw out how I want it to be done, and I shoot with the edit in mind. I know that a lot of people right now are using the whip pan transition, and to do that is almost solely relying on the fact of you shooting with the edit in mind. If you whip down to the right one time, you have to come up from the left, come down from the left in the next one. So that's purely what I mean by shooting with the edit in mind. So for tip number 4, it would be color grade, sound, and lighting. Probably the 3 most essential things to make your video either stand out or make it really good or bad. If you have pretty much bad one of the 3, no one's really gonna watch the video as much. Obviously you'll get some people to watch it, but if it doesn't sound good, if people can't hear you, or there's weird noises, they're not gonna like it and click off. If they can't even see you, or there's like 1,000 RGB lights going on behind you, you're probably only gonna adapt to the 8-year-olds that watch YouTube. And if you just don't have good colors, then people are gonna like, why does that dude look so orange? And so it really all just matters about those 3 things. I'll actually show you 2 different clips of what it sounds like with my microphone that I have set up and without it, and then I'll show you the different lights that I have set up right now, what it looks like with and without. I have 2 lights right now. One is set up in front of me. It has a big softbox on it, so that one's set up to look dead at me and just be like this in front of me. It is kind of bad for me wearing glasses because you can see it a little bit in my glasses. And then there's one actually behind me, and it is my hair light, and it's actually lighting up like this rim part of my hat right here. And I have my room lights on, but they're very, very minimal. If I turn them off, you probably wouldn't even be able to notice. So I'm going to go through each one of the little places and show you exactly what it looks like. So this right here is nothing but that hair light right above my head. It almost does nothing, but without it you lose the depth of where I am, because that light in front of me lights up everything in front of me. So this being at a 45-degree angle behind me, shooting the back of my head right here, gives it like a whole different depth. And this is just with my room on, so my room and the hair light. So just these 2 things is really good enough for video nowadays. And the lights that I have are just some $60 like softbox light that I put my own lights in, and it's off of Amazon. But with it, it creates an entirely different dimension of me. It makes the video look 10 times better in my opinion. I think lighting and sound are probably the 2 biggest things that are going to affect your video. So I have a Rode Video microphone. I don't know, there's so many names, but it is set up on one of like a little arm I have right here, and it's pointing at my face. It's maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet away from my face. It's not very far away. It's like literally right off camera right here, just so you guys can't see it. But without that audio, it sounds absolutely terrible. So having this here right next to me makes this sound at least 10 times better in my opinion. But all that, let's bring it back to number 5. Number 5 is going to be use simple cuts, use slow motion, and use graphics. I have used graphics for each one of the transitions that I've done to show you guys what number I'm on, and it just kind of brings you in. It kind of makes it not just so talking the whole time. They have a whole rule about you shouldn't be doing the whole after 10 seconds there should be another portion of video, so that way it keeps the person entertained the whole time. And then use simple cuts. People really don't care too much about the whole crazy transitions unless you're making a really, really expensive video, or you're like, even for a wedding video, they really don't care that you took your camera and went into a cup, and then through that cup they were at the ceremony. People really don't like it nowadays. It's cool for a very cinematic, there's a very, very small portion of when you should use it, but just use simple cuts. I use fade and jump cuts a lot because it's just very simple and it's elegant, and it's just kind of easy. It's a lot faster of a workflow and a lot faster of a video editing process. And then with that, you also get the outcome a whole lot faster, so you make more money. From wedding videos, there's almost a trend that you can look at my video that at the very beginning I fade from black into the video, the very end I fade from the video into black, into the like script writing, and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's not crazy. And then every single cut that I do, every single cut is just a simple jump cut. It's nothing crazy at all, but I tie in the video well enough to tell the story because I shot with the edit in mind. The only thing I have to do for the edit is just do a simple cut. So if you do those 2 things, that'll help you out a lot. Slow motion is something that I don't really use a lot, and I'm not really good at it. For one, I'm not good at it. My camera kind of limits me because I'm not able to shoot in 120 frames per second, so I'm not actually able to get like super smooth slow motion. I can do slow motion, but it looks kind of jittery, so I only really slow things down to maybe 75%. Anything slower than that coming out of my camera just doesn't really look that good, so I don't use it. But used in certain ways, slow motion and speed ramping is probably the most effective way you can do a good cut and just change the dynamic of it. So since you have stayed this far into the video, I want to give you guys an extra tip. I want to give you 6 tips. My 6th one is practice. None of this stuff is going to come easy. If you're just learning or just starting out, you're going to have to practice. Just record random videos of an orange rolling on the ground in your house and just learn how to use cuts. Just learn how to do the actual like shortcuts on the keyboard. Everything that you need to make yourself better at editing just comes with actual practice. There was a lot of times where I just recorded videos and just to practice, and it sounds kind of crazy to say that, to do all that time and effort just to practice, but they say to be an expert at something you have to put 100,000 hours into it, and I know I haven't put 100,000 hours into something, so I'm still constantly practicing myself. I mean, I know almost all the shortcuts that it has in all my editing softwares, so I'm super fast with everything, but there's still got to be a time where I just practice, and because practice makes perfect. So I hope these tips will help you out in your editing process, in your editing journey. I hope it will inspire you to do more. Hope it will inspire you to make better videos if you're not already making amazing videos, because these tips are not just for beginners, it's for intermediate and advanced people as well, because sometimes we kind of forget that even though we are on a higher level than maybe a beginner, we can't forget about the steps below as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you Saturday, and I hope to see you for my whole entire Disney trip. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.